Sonic Adventure is widely regarded as the best game in the entire Sonic franchise, but as with most opinions regarding hardcore Sonic fans, there's also a group of people who say the exact opposite and that the game is absolutely horrible. So of course, this only leaves me to figure out which group of people is right. Because we all know you at home don't know. There's a lot to talk about in this video, but since I upload twice a week and usually don't get much sleep, I'm gonna try to sum it all up in a short video to the best of my abilities. As far as my basic research has led me to believe, there was another 3D Sonic game being developed for the Sega Saturn, and the early gameplay for it actually looks better than Sonic Adventure if I'm being honest. But with the Dreamcast releasing, Sega decided they wanted to just put the 3D game on that console, so they started over, focusing more on characters and stories this time, which is really cool and needed for a Sonic game, but unfortunately the game took 10 months to develop. And it definitely shows. I know Sega and Sonic represent speed and being fast, but now it's just sad and ironic that Sega's rushed out Sonic game eventually led to the doom of Sega consoles as we know them. Also, apparently Cryware was involved in this game, which is a horrible name for any company related to video games. Despite the cartoonishly unfortunate circumstances that Sonic Adventure was made through, it's undeniable that tons of people love this game, and especially when it first came out. With that being said, I do want to iterate again that this video is reviewing the game in the perspective of today, with games like Sonic Generations and Colors already out. Regardless of how people feel today, the game had a very successful launch, so if you're a huge fan of Sonic Adventure and you think you might get upset when I criticize it, just know I don't think the game is bad at all, and 99% of my criticisms are going to be based on the game aging poorly or clearly being rushed with this 10-month long development process. Anyway, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, the last thing I want to say is that this is the DX version, and I don't really know what that means, nor do I care, but I do know this is vital information to the hardcore Sonic fans, which as far as the YouTube algorithm is concerned is the only legitimate kind. This is also on a PC, by the way, and I just recently upgraded to a build with a 3090 graphics card and a new i9 CPU, so when you see stuff pop in for no reason, it's some kind of problem in the actual game engine itself, I guess. After starting the game, the first thing I noticed was that the graphic design of the menus have the same vibes of like Game Maker games released between the years of 2007 and 2012. A lot of the menus do look cool, but every now and then it just looks horribly tacky, but I mean, I guess that's just another symptom from this being released in 1998. Speaking of random fan games though, I remember seeing several random creepypasta Sonic type games through my days, and I always thought the menus were just made by amateurs, but apparently they were copying Sonic Adventure's menu. Which, I mean, could have also been made by amateurs for all I know. Okay, but enough complaining about stupid things like the menus and how old the game is, because any doofus with a couple of fingers can type a script up like that, so it's time to do what I do best. Play the game. Like I said earlier, one of the main focuses of Sonic Adventure was adding more character development and story stuff, which I think was a really good idea, but other fans think is what ended up causing atrocities like Sonic Forces to exist. But this isn't Sonic Forces, and you end up being able to play as multiple characters, all with different stories that sum up to one big adventure. Hey, wait a minute. You can of course play as Sonic, who you use to unlock all the other characters' levels. But you can also play as Tails, who flies, Knuckles, who flies, Amy, who is slow and has a hammer, Big the Cat, who, fishes, and a robot named E-102Y, as in, why can I play as this bad guy Eggman robot? All of them also have different gameplay styles, with Sonic of course being the regular 3D Sonic gameplay, and Tails being able to fly. The other characters I honestly did not enjoy though, but of course if you did, there's nothing wrong with that, I just thought they were all kind of boring. Knuckles, for example, has a lot of good ideas in his stages, but I hate having to search for those stupid Chaos Emerald things. Maybe I'm just a dum-dum, but when I play Sonic, I want to go fast and beat each level really fast, not explore and look for hidden level objectives. If I wanted to do that, I would either play Metroid or Zelda. Not because Sonic can't have stuff like that, but just because Metroid and Zelda do it way better. So Sonic should just stick to what it does best, which is fast-paced platforming gameplay. Amy, like I said earlier, is a little too slow in my opinion, but there are only 3 levels, so it's not like it's that much of a pain to complete. The robot thing is actually fairly interesting, but I still don't think it's as good as Sonic or Tails gameplay. Basically, you walk around pressing the shoot button, and every time you kill an enemy, you get time added onto the level timer, which we can only assume is the timer for a time bomb strapped onto the robot since you lose the level if time runs out. Big the Cat, like I said earlier, fishes. Look, Kompound, I'm sorry buddy, but this sucks. I like Big the Cat as a character, he's kinda funny I guess, but why do I have to go fishing in a Sonic game? Now before you tell me I don't have to go fishing since it's not Sonic's story, You do have to beat every single character's story if you want to fight the final boss as Super Sonic, which we do. Meaning we can only assume at some point in between cutscenes while Big the Cat was fishing, he happened to find a Chaos Emerald, I guess. Speaking of bosses, by the way, every single boss is extremely easy. I've heard this complaint with a lot of Sonic games I've played for these videos, and for the most part, even if that was the case, they were unique and fun enough to make up for it. But in this game, they're all the exact same and boring. I really don't want to be a Sonic Adventure hater, but I mean, the more I played this game, the more apparent the time crunch is. Another quick thing I want to point out that I low-key hate in these new Sonic games are these cryptic hub worlds where they don't tell you where to go. Usually in a cutscene, it's like, go to this place, like the train station, for example. So you just gotta look around until you find it, which is easier said than done. There's even these little hint wisp things, but they don't even really help you at all. They just repeat the same sentences, like, hey, don't forget to go to the train station. Did you forget that? Did you forget to go to the train station? Why can't you just show me where the stupid train station is so I can find the dang level? I like secrets and hub worlds when it's something like upgrades for your character, which there are a few of in this game, but I shouldn't have to go online and order a vintage 23-year-old video game guide just to search for the second level in the game. That's just stupid. The best hub world was the one in LEGO Star Wars, by the way. All the levels are near each other with more optional stuff the farther away you get from said levels, instead of you having to search for the levels to progress the game. Now that I've procrastinated this part of the video as long as I physically could, it's time to talk about Sonic's gameplay, which, you'll see. The gameplay does have its moments when everything is working properly, and you know what? Those said moments are pretty fun. Sonic doesn't control that bad at all. The lock-on attack is very helpful in this game and one of the few things the game did perfectly. The level designs are all very interesting and unique and fun, though they do all kind of have that same PS1 Dreamcast era vibe, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like these are the same cities from both Pepsi Man and the Yakuza games, but I mean, I don't know. And really, truly, and honestly, this game is fun when everything works as intended. The problem is that's a rare occurrence. Ignoring the occasional floor and wall clipping that a lot of 90s 3D platformers have, the camera is just awful. Now, I'm known for not liking Super Mario 64 all that much, but one thing the game perfected was camera controls, which Sonic Adventure should have taken a few notes from, because when the camera is locked in a position and it's at a bad angle, that just sucks. It's not always bad or anything, but if you're someone who's never played this game before like me and hops on expecting a regular Sonic game, then you're going to be in for a few surprises. Honestly, as someone who's heard so much about this game my entire life, ever since I saw a picture of it in a manual of one of my Sonic collections, this game just doesn't feel real. It plays like a fan game that I get off Game Jolt with several Trojans on it, and the animations are like funny. I don't even want to say bad because they seem deliberate. Look at Sonic! There's no way they saw that and didn't laugh before releasing it. Why do his eyes, or his eye, do that every time he talks? Why does Tails sound like one of the kids off Vine? Why is Dr. Eggman referred to as both Dr. Robotnik and Eggman in this game? There are a lot of things that don't make any sense, but anything story or animation wise doesn't really take away from the actual game, of course. The main drawbacks is just how poorly the game is aged, with infinitely better games like Generations being almost a decade old now. The thing is though, I feel like if you played this game as a kid and experienced all the bad camera angles and glitches, you probably wouldn't even notice, or if you did, you just keep playing and ignore that because that's what kids do. I think because of that is why so many people have fond memories of this game and hold it at such a high regard. I don't think this game is bad at all, by the way. It's really fun when it wants to be, but in today's day and age, there's no reason to put up with a lot of these flaws for gameplay that is subpar to today's Sonic standards. I really do understand why people like this game, especially if they played it when they were little, but I do think it's kind of ridiculous to claim this is the best Sonic game. So the original Sonic Adventure is a fun game, it's just aged poorly and not up to today's standards, but of course if you're a huge Sonic fan and you've never played it, it's more than worth playing, that's not even debatable. But regardless of how much you've disagreed with me throughout the entire video, we can all agree that Sonic Adventure needs a remake. And that the Chow Garden is cool.